Hello, everyone. Melanie Nelson here with our TLS Tuesday sessions, continuing with our Melt It Off in May, and really continuing with this theme of how to maximize our fat burning capability. Our body can use fat for fuel. And there are many ways to maximize this process. And today's session is all about how to do that with your workouts. So let's dive in, you guys. You ready to maximize what's called your EPOC effect, or the afterburn? And EPOC stands for, what does it stand for? Excess post exercise oxygen consumption. Now, think about it like this. How many of you have ever been on a drive? You're driving around town, you're running errands, or you do a long trip, but you bring the car into the garage, and long after you've shut the car off, it's still giving heat off, right? You walk past it hours later and you can still feel the heat coming off of the hood or the grill. How many of you have experienced that? Yeah, the same goes for our body after a really intense workout. The rule of thumb is the more calories and fat you want to burn after a workout means you need to actually consume, it needs to be really a oxygen consuming workout. Okay. And that means it's pretty intense. As one of my trainers likes to call it, vitamin H and vitamin P, huffy puffy. All right. You need some vitamin huffy puffy, meaning you're out of breath, meaning you're right, because your body needs to reoxygenate. That's why we get out of breath. Now, I want to caveat all of this by saying, please consult your healthcare provider before starting any kind of exercise routine, and definitely modify to your own self. We're not suggesting you do. We are not your healthcare provider. We are not attempting to be your personal trainer. Please be sure to take care of you. All right. So again, oxygen huffy puffy, or vitamin HP huffy puffy, because when your body has consumed a lot of oxygen, you need to bring some in, which is why we get out of breath. And so the rule of thumb is the more oxygen you use during a workout, the longer the EPOC effect, the longer the afterburn effect. So there's a couple ways to increase our fat burn. Now, I want to also say, we're talking not about strength training. We're not talking about endurance training. We're talking about training that increases fat metabolism and using fat as energy. Okay. So rule number one, do a warm up. Okay. So I was just speaking to one of our incredible success stories who she just continues her journey in TLS, and now she's coaching other people because she's had such a life-changing experience. And that's Tanya. Some of you have heard Tanya's story. We have featured her. I know we have so many success stories. Tanya was talking about how she started running. Oh my gosh, she's running. And she is so excited about running, but she just begins running. So I said, look, you need to warm up. Because your joints need the warm up. And you need to kind of get things lubricated before you start really pounding on those joints. So there's other reasons for a warm up, but as far as metabolizing and using fat as energy, we want to do a good 5 to 7 minute warm up. Now, whether that's starting off with some bear crawls and some jumping jacks, or maybe you're going to the gym and you can do some really good fast-paced walk on the treadmill or the elliptical or a stationary bike, where you're really utilizing up that stored energy. Okay, now stored energy is in the form of ATP. And once we used up that stored ATP, then we can open up new pathways and ways of utilizing energy in the body. So, a bunch of yoga sun salutations will do it. There's all kinds of ways to warm up. And essentially, that's what you're looking to accomplish, is that you are warm. You're beginning to feel like, okay, all right, I'm like warm. I'm ready to go here. And that will accomplish utilizing up some of that stored energy. So when you go into your actual workout, you're now into oxygen consumption. So studies and studies and studies have proven now that the more oxygen you consume during a workout, meaning the more intense a workout is. Now understand, your intensity is different than my intensity. This is what makes it so wonderful because, this is all about you maximizing your intensity, which is going to be very different than anybody else's. All right. So what we're looking to accomplish is really getting that maximum heart rate. And so there's calculations for what your maximum heart rate is in regards to your age, your gender, and those kinds of things. So you can do a calculation to find out what that is. Or if you're just not that interested in all of those details, totally fine. You can just essentially keep it simple by going, you know what, I need to go 80 to 85% of my effort, and then 60% of my effort, or 75% of my effort. Knowing what 100% all out is, you can't do that forever, right? That's the whole point. So the exercises that do that are what's called either Tabata, HIIT training, or circuit training. So let's get into those. Now, they're all kind of a version of the same thing, which is interval training. Now, HIIT stands for high intensity interval training. All right, this has become quite a big deal in the fitness industry and in the weight loss industry because it has such an incredible effect on that afterburn, right? Where we're doing shorter bursts of higher intensity exercise rather than going for a run or a jog for an hour or spending 2 hours in the gym, kind of at a 50%, experience. You're really doing short bursts of a high intensity activity. This is really what's going to maximize weight loss or getting that shredded effect. Maybe you're just looking to lean out, get rid of those last few pounds. Well, this is the way to do it, is with these tips here. So that warm up was step number 1. 2 was high intensity interval training. So that is anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. 10 to 30 minutes of where your on interval would be about 80 to 85% effort or 80 to 85% max heart rate. Then you're off your continuing activity, but only at about 60% effort or 60% max heart rate. All right. And you're doing that for 10 to 30 minutes. Now, it could be any types of exercise that you're doing during those intervals. You could do that on the treadmill. You could do that on a stationary bike, or you could do that with, squats and multi-joint exercises. That is really, really effective. Those lateral movement, forward movement, with your feet, right? As in many sports, we're doing like fast feet, right? If you've ever done anything in sports, they want you to have those fast feet. That's what makes, receivers, really great receivers in football, great receivers, right? Because they have fast feet. So not only can they catch the ball, but then they can go lateral or diagonal or wherever they need to go to get away from the opposing team, who's trying to prevent them from getting a touchdown. So any kind of footwork is great, right? And so high intensity, again, on being 80 to 85%, off being 60%, 10 to 30 minutes. Now, there's all kinds of fun HIIT workouts on YouTube there if you want to get an idea of what you could do. Let's talk about Tabata. Now, Tabata is 4 minutes. That's it. But it is a really tough 4 minutes. Now, you can include Tabata in any kind of workout you do, but it's 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Now, that seems like it'd be super easy, but you're doing 8 rounds of that. You can actually download a Tabata app on your phone, and it will cue you on 20, like on, start, off, break, 20 on, 10 off. Now, what this does is it actually utilizes up a ton of oxygen. Now you've got all kinds of lactic acid in the body and you're like, oh my God, this hurts so much. You could be doing this. You could be doing this with push-ups, with sit-ups, with squats, with anything, with any kind of exercise you could do Tabata. And on that 20 seconds off, you need that 10-second break. And believe me, sometimes it's really difficult to get through 8 rounds. You would be amazed. This sounds easy, but it's not. I can guarantee you. And it actually is, as far as calorie per minute burn, far exceeds any other as far as they've studied, it far exceeds the caloric burn in any given minute. So it's pretty incredible. So Tabata incorporated into some of your workouts can be a great way to maximize and kind of get in that high intensity workout. So what is the third one? Third one is circuit training. Circuit training is where you're going through a series of 3 to 6 different exercises, but without a break. So you might start with jumping jacks, and then you go into squats, then you go into sit-ups, then you go into push-ups, whatever the case might be. And I'm talking about the simplest, easiest kind of exercises in the sense of like, you don't need any equipment, right? And, but it could be anything. And a 6 would be like a superset, right? So you might not start there, but you could do 3 exercises and you're going through them consistently without a break. And you're doing that, you're taking a break in between, maybe a minute break, then you're doing the circuit again. Now, how many reps and how many sets is really based on where you're at in your fitness level. I always say 3 is a magic number. So if you can do 3 rounds of the circuit training with 3 exercises, you're going to get a nice burn there. Especially again, if you're looking to maximize that lean look or that weight loss, it's really important then to be doing multiple joint exercises. So if you're squatting, you also might add in a shoulder press. Or if you're lunging, you would also add in a bicep curl while you're lunging, right? So multiple joints are involved. It's a whole body exercise, as well as you go through, they could be different. You're not hyper focusing on upper body one day and hyper focusing on lower body the other day. What you're doing is a daily whole body type of circuit training or HIIT workout. Again, this is really honing in on maximizing the afterburn effect, maximizing your leaning out and weight loss, right? Because again, this is not strength training. This is not endurance training. Although you will get stronger and you will get more endurance as you do this, right? As you do this, you can go longer, you can go harder. That is the truth of anything you do over and over again, right? You're going to get stronger. You're going to be able to do better. Do not be discouraged with where you're at today, because you will be further along if you're doing something for your body every single day. Something. Maybe you just start off with your first 4 minutes of Tabata, and every day is a different exercise, and that's what you do, because that's where you're at. Fantastic. Just start where you're at. That's the biggest thing. And as I always say, when it comes to anything you want to do and succeed at, accountability is key. So having a workout buddy, having a personal trainer, having your TLS coach hold you accountable to what you said you were going to do, and you will thrive. Because you have someone, you don't have a secret goal about doing Tabata. You've told someone, you've, had someone join you in it, a workout buddy or a personal trainer. And so these are ways in which that you can achieve your goals faster. And so like that engine in the car, you're burning calories and fat long after your workout. And every day that you do it, you're boosting your natural metabolism. So think about it. If I do 20 to 30 minutes If I even do 10 minutes, right? If I do 10 minutes twice a day, right? Look what I'm doing to enhance the journey to my goals, but also boosting metabolism. Not to mention the cardiovascular benefits of this type of workout, right? Remember when we're getting huffy puffy, our heart rate is usually up. And so a lot of times with these interval trainings, whether it's circuit, Tabata, or HIIT, is that your heart rate spikes and then you have recovery. Now, the recovery is really important because you can't sustain something forever and ever and ever, amen, right? You just can't. You run out of energy, and so you do actually need that recovery time in there for the body to do a bit of replenishing so that you can go at it again. So don't discount the recovery sections or time frames of these particular type workouts. And there's all kinds of studies on this you guys can take a look at, and articles in regards to what HIIT cardio can do for you, what Tabata or circuit training incorporated into your routine can do for you. So I can't wait to hear about what you've incorporated, what you're enjoying about it. Definitely comment below if you're already doing some types of these workouts. Let us know what you love. And, sharing is caring. So let's all take it up a notch for not only our health goals and our weight loss goals and our shred goals, but when we're stronger, we can be there for other people. So that is, truly, isn't this what it's all about, is having that quality and quantity of life. So thanks for listening in. We'll see you next Tuesday. We're going to continue with our Melted Off in May theme. And till next time.